Well, good morning, guys. It is a pretty chilly November 18th, Thursday, and I'm here at Kanata Basin, Badlands National Park, and kind of a spur of the moment backpacking trip. Going to go ahead and do the Sage Creek Wilderness Loop here. Starts and ends at this parking area. And I'll either be camping 1 or 2 nights. I'm not 100% sure yet. This is about 22 to 24 miles. And with how late it is in the year, days are very short. So the sunset's actually out here at like 4:30 p.m. right now. So mileage could be an issue. But anyway, the plan for today, we've got to load up some water. There is no water in the backcountry here at Badlands, unless you've come after some kind of recent precipitation. So that'll be a challenge. It's supposed to be pretty chilly tonight, down in the 20s, so I have a 0-degree bag with me for this trip. And yeah, first time filming with this camera, and hopefully put together a really interesting film for you guys. Kind of just to the right out of frame here, and there's some bison chilling in this kind of grass and sage. Here's a little bit more zoomed in shot. Alright, so I've come up into an area that's called Deer Haven, and you can kind of see behind me the obstacles ahead. I have to kind of follow this wash to the head of it, the base of the wall here. Then we'll be going up and over Deer Haven. It is starting to warm up, winds died off, so I'm going to pull a layer off before we start the ascent here and probably intake a little bit of water. My way up and ran across some turkeys. Alright guys, this is the view from the top of Deer Haven. Kind of came from over there. Get ready to drop down this drainage on the other side. Alright, so I'm walking down the wash that is Sage Creek, and there's a bison up there on that little grassy knoll. And something just to kind of keep in mind if you come out here and do this hike is that these creek beds are really the easiest way to kind of traverse this terrain. The features, are so steep. Animals kind of take the path of least resistance, so you do have to be a little bit careful walking down this creek, just making sure you don't come around a blind corner and startle an animal. Alright guys, more bison here, and they don't seem all that pleased that I'm here, so I kind of hopped up out of the creek and I'm going to try to go kind of behind this formation here and pass by them. bison. Luckily they're on the other side, so I just kind of hopped up on a little plateau here and was able to get around them without too much trouble. Man, they are all over in this creek. Quite the shot. Wish I wasn't pointed into the sun, but awesome nonetheless. Bunch of bison on that mesa. Alright guys, it is right about 4 p.m. And I just wanted to point a couple things out real quick. First, it is only 4 o'clock. I don't know how well you can tell behind me, but the sun is essentially setting. Have about 20 minutes. But one thing I forgot to mention when we left the trailhead is that there's a lunar eclipse tonight. And so my goal kind of today, I knew I was going to have a tough time making miles, trying to film with these short daylight hours, but I feel like I've done a pretty good job. And what I'm trying to do is get over into this basin that's on the other side of the wall behind me here, and basically that'll allow me to camp somewhere that's kind of blocked by walls on both sides to help me shelter from the wind, because I'm anticipating a fairly cold night, and also will give me some foreground opportunities on both sides of me. So if we're shooting the eclipse tonight and any potential sunrise tomorrow morning as well. So probably a mile to get down to the end of this and curve our way into there. And I don't know if it'll be light enough once we get there I'll film some scenes at camp, even if it is pretty dark when I'm getting set up. Alright guys, I think I found a nice flat spot here where I'm going to make camp, and should have good foreground opportunities close by for the eclipse. So sun's set, it's getting cold pretty quickly. Gonna get the tent set up and then we'll get some dinner. Alright guys, this is gonna be camp for night number 1 here in Badlands National Park, over near Tyree Basin, and probably film a couple clips in the tent with some light, but that's going to do it for out here. It's getting pretty dark, so we'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It's day number 2, and going to get started today by kind of showing you on a map what we did yesterday and what the plan for today is. Alright guys, so this is a National Geographic Trails Illustrated map of Badlands National Park, and basically I only have the portion of the map open that I'm using for this trip, but this is that Badlands Loop Road. Comes down this way and continues off the map, goes back over to the interstate. We drove in from Wall yesterday, came down, turned on this Kanata Road, and the truck is parked here at this Kanata picnic area, and the trail kind of goes out around the south end of these formations. We went up and over Deer Haven in here, and then you can see Sage Creek. We followed Sage Creek down, basically all the way down this drainage, and then this wall here that comes out this way, we left the creek somewhere in here and came across, out and around, and I am somewhere right in here right now. So Kanata, Deer Haven, followed the creek, we left the creek, came out here, and went around. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 miles. I'm not sure exactly of the mileage, but basically what we now have to do today is to complete this loop. So, like I said, I'm right about where this creek is here, and we have to go south through this Tyree Basin is what this big open area is called, down to Sage Creek Pass here, and then complete the loop by returning, and the trail meets up kind of back here just south of Deer Haven. Alright guys, so we have packed up camp and it's time to hit the trail. I left kind of the buffalo trail through here that I was following right back down behind me here, so we'll rejoin with that and head on over to Tyree Basin. So behind me here is Tyree Basin. You can see it's a big kind of open prairie. Then Sage Creek Pass will be on the other side, kind of that spot where there are no badlands. I don't know how much of this I'll film because it is kind of just a prairie walk, but there'll be at least a few clips in there. A couple interesting things of note. This is way inside of the area that I've crossed here before, and it gets a lot of animal traffic. It almost looks like a hiking trail just from the amount of bison and coyotes. There was a couple game cameras set up here. It looked like they were from the Park Service, so I don't know what they're looking for, but super cool area. Just really unique, and like I said, this area is like being in a moonscape almost. I kind of crested a little rise back there and I scared these antelope. And they were fast. So I've descended from Sage Creek Pass behind the camera, and I've reached a spot where the wilderness and the national park is bordered by some ranches and some private farmland to the south. So you can kind of see this fence. That marks the south boundary of the national park, and I'll be kind of walking along that for the next couple miles. That distant wall kind of at the left side of the frame behind this closer formation, that's where I started from. You can kind of see those pinnacles like on the left side. I was to the right of that behind this, and I've crossed all the way across here. Alright guys, my apologies. Last couple clips of this video are going to be with my phone. Both camera batteries died, but I am back kind of right to the entrance of Deer Haven. You can see Deer Haven behind me. And gonna make it back to the vehicle here before too long. Uh-oh. There she is. Pickup. Well, guys, that was the Sage Creek Wilderness Loop. Hope you enjoyed.